Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a pro violation. Yard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life. I ended up doing 24 years straight in the California prison system. During that time, I accumulated some good stories, and I'm going to hit y'all with one today. Actually, this particular story, though, takes place when I was in the Riverside County Jail, still fighting my charges, waiting to see what was going to be the outcome of the things that I had been charged with. When I got arrested, they sent me to the county jail in Riverside. From there, I was eventually transferred to another jail by the name of Southwest in a city called Marietta. Now, Marietta is about 45 minutes away from Riverside. So the bad part about being in Marietta was anytime I had a court appearance, they would wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning along with anybody else who had court that day. They'd feed us breakfast, then they'd throw us in these holding tanks. They may have held 25, 30 people, maybe more. You know, they had 3 or 4 holding tanks or whatever. We would stay in there for about an hour and a half until the bus came. Then they throw the chains on our waist and feet and this and that. We'd hop on the bus, take that ride down there. Once I got to court, I'd sit in court a few hours until they called my name. Then my lawyer and the DA would discuss what they had to discuss. That normally took about 5 minutes or whatever. Then they'd schedule another court appearance, which was like about a month and a half away. Then I'd have to go through the whole process again. Now, before I got arrested, I was living in the city of Billings, Montana, actually. I was out there selling dope, powder, cocaine for about 4 years. I say that to say I didn't realize how prevalent speed and meth had become in Southern California, especially among the white dudes. So now, like I say, fast forward back to now me going back and forth to court. Now, I never forget this one, this one day in particular, I had to go to court again. So now I'm in the holding tank. It's early in the morning. And there's this one white dude. He won't shut up. You know what I'm saying? I never learned the dude's name, but for intents and purposes of this story, I'm going to just call him high pitched because he had an irritating and annoying voice. Now, so like I say, now when I'm in these holding tanks, you had a lot of white dudes, especially from this town called Lake Elsinore. They'd be in there discussing who was selling speed, who had the dope, where he was cooking it at, and all this type of stuff. So if you was familiar with the city of Lake Elsinore, you know, you knew everything. Like I say, they had no consideration for who was around and none of that stuff. So I'm thinking like, damn, all the police would have to do is throw a recording device up in here and a lot of dudes would get busted because these dudes would be in here every court date telling everybody's business and stuff. So like I say, back to this dude high pitch, the dude who won't shut up. He's talking to one of his buddies about some chick that he's met. And he's like, dude, I'm fucking telling you, dude. She has some fucking big tits, dude. I go to her house. She loves sucking cock, dude. We fucking get high. We fuck all the time, dude. This shit's bomb, dude. I'm fucking telling you. So now he's going back and forth. They laughing and joking. He's talking about some broad that he had met or whatever, you know. So now at some point during the conversation, he gets to talking about this black Corvette that she has, and she's got a man. He's like, fucking dude, she has this fucking black Corvette. I drive that motherfucker like it's mine, dude. I'm all over in that motherfucker. And dude, she has a fucking dude. He's locked up on a parole violation and a whole bunch of other shit, dude. So he's not coming home for a while, dude. I'm fucking his pussy. So he's talking all this stuff. Now, when he's talking about the black Corvette, there's this white dude, big old tall white dude to my right. Now, the white dude looks like he's about 6'2", 6'3". He's easily probably about 215, 220 pounds. Can't really tell how big he is because we wear these jumpsuits, but you can definitely look at him and see that he's got some definition. Now, of course, the other dude who's talking high pitch, he's a speed freak. He's skinny as a motherfucker and stuff. He looks like he's doing dope. So now he's talking, and at some point, like I say, he's talking about the black Corvette, and I think he even called the girl's name or whatever. So now I've noticed, because now one thing I've got used to is always just being aware of my surroundings when when I'm locked up. So I noticed that when he get to talking about the black Corvette or whatever, this other white dude, he's like perked up. Now he's looking at the dude high pitch. Now he's kind of just like looking, basically staring at him. Then all of a sudden, he stands up. He says, "You fucking bold son of a bitch, motherfucker. I'm Ken, motherfucker. You think it's cool to fuck my old lady?" So by the way he said that, by the way he said, "I'm Ken," it made me think that the dude high pitched at least knew of him, So then he walked over to him. "Yeah, you fucking motherfucker, you disrespectful motherfucker." He grabbed him by the jumpsuit and just slapped the shit out of him. Bam! "Hey motherfucker, you fucking motherfucker." Now the dude high pitched said, I'm sorry. He said, "Motherfucker, you're not sorry when you're fucking my bitch." And so then he walked back down. He stood there for a minute, talked a lot of shit to him, a little bit of shit. Then he walked back over to where he was sitting at and sat back down. So now he's talking like, "You fucking motherfucker, you can fucking have that cunt. I knew that bitch wasn't no good." So now it's like he's half-assed talking to high pitch, and he's half-assed talking to himself, But now the more he's talking, it seemed like he's hyping himself up and making himself madder and madder. So then all of a sudden he says, "Hey motherfucker, how long have you been fucking my old lady, motherfucker?" And so high pitch said, "I'm sorry." He said, "Motherfucker, you're not sorry, motherfucker." So he stood up and walked over to him again. Now this time, when he stands up and he starts walking over toward him, everybody that's sitting around high pitch, they tear ass. They get up and get out the way. Because like I say, by now, everybody has woke up or whatever. They peeping this situation. So now high pitch stands up. So now high pitch is probably only maybe about 5'9", 5'10", somewhere up in there, So he stands up. So now the dude Ken, he walks over to him again. He says, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna ask you one last time. How long have you been fucking my old lady, motherfucker?" And high pitch is just looking at him. He didn't at this point in time, he didn't really say nothing. And he says, "Motherfucker," and the dude, the tall dude Ken, he says, "Motherfucker, I'm talking to you." And he just boom, boom, boom. Just punched him, gave him like a good two-piece or whatever. So now the dude, high pitch, he falls back down on the benches that we're sitting on and stuff. So now the dude Ken, he hasn't hit him no more, but he's sitting there screaming like, "You motherfucker, you think it's cool, motherfucker?" So now he's screaming and hollering. Then all of a sudden he grabs him by the back of his jumpsuit and like slams him up against the wall and then starts punching him. "You motherfucker, you fucking motherfucker." Now at this point in time, all of a sudden, I don't know if the guards was walking by and just happened to look in there, or they was coming over there to shackle us up or whatever. But all of a sudden you hear, hey, stop that. So now the dude Ken, he backs up. He backs up a couple feet. The COs, the guards or whatever, they open up the thing, like 3 or 4 of them. They run up in there. They grab the tall guy. They walk him out. Then they go over there and pick up high pitch. They pick him up and walk him out. And of course, I never seen neither one of those dudes again. But, that just let me know that when you in jail, you definitely have to be aware of your surroundings, man. You can't just be in there running off at the mouth, talking all crazy and reckless, And actually, I've also seen another scenario a couple of times where you will have gang members. They might be sitting right there talking to their homies about some of their enemies. But when they discussing their enemies, they using, they dissing their hoods and this and that. Then all of a sudden, one of their enemies might be sitting right there and he'll jump up like, "Hey, homie, you dissing my hood?" And they'll start fighting. I didn't see that right there many times too. So, you always, like I said, you always got to be aware of your surroundings, and you never know who's going to be with you or how something from the street can catch up with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the end of my story right there. I also want to add a quick note. Initially, when I started doing my stories, I wasn't monetized. So they got certain guidelines that we got to stick to in order to get paid. So once I did become monetized, some of my stories, I didn't stick to those guidelines and I'm not getting paid for them. So in the event you happen to see me re-upload something that you've already seen, that's the reason, because I want to be paid for that story from this point forward. Also, before I was monetized 4 or 5 months ago, only had a couple thousand subscribers, or maybe not even 1,000 subscribers. Now that I have much more subscribers, I'm also re-uploading that, because all the subscribers who join won't necessarily go back and binge watch everything that you have. So I'm re-uploading some of that so they can see and I can also be paid. So in the event I happen to re-upload something, I hope that y'all will check it out. But if not, I'm just letting you know that's the reason that I'm re-uploading, because I'm trying to get my bread. So with that being said, it's your boy 16 to life. Y'all already know what it is. Resume normal program.